after 3 years, we finally got an update to Shallot. They updated him from a hero unit to a sparking unit. And again, that update is massive. They reworked the unit entirely to the point where he's now viable again. They gave him meta relevant abilities. They boosted all of his stats. All of his forms are viable, and it makes him an extremely fun unit to use now. So because of that, I want to show you guys a few battles I've had off screen while using the brand new sparking Shallot. So with that being said, let's get into it.
Versus Shallot, Super Vegito, and Gogeta Blue.
And here we are in the first battle. So I lead off with Shallot, and the opponent leads off with Shallot. Again, sparking Shallot. Anyway, so the opponent leads off with Ki Blast. I vanish out the way and I tap away. And then afterwards, I start to back off. And I'm just thinking if I can at least find a way to start a combo against the unit, I can throw out my special move. So they just rush straight in with Strike. I end up hitting them with Ki Blast. And then as I used my special move, they threw in Gogeta. But again, it's, you know, Ultra Super Gogeta's special move. So I knocked down their entire hand so they weren't able to attack for a little bit. Anyway, they end up comboing with Gogeta Blue. And at this point, I'm like, you know what? The combo needs to end. I can't allow him to just continue for 5 years. So I throw in Gogeta. I throw him in specifically because I do want to save Goku for Vegito because he's going to be in the back end and he has endurance. So anyway, the opponent is comboing my Gogeta, which is okay because it builds up my unique gauge. But of course, the opponent's Gogeta had another special move. But since my unique gauge filled up, you know, I got some health back when it, you know, restored. Anyway, they throw Shallot in and activate Super Saiyan God. So there's one benefit that I don't have to really worry about concerning Shallot, and that's endurance, because Super Saiyan 2 Shallot has endurance now, which is insane. Anyway, so with him transforming, we kind of are stuck in neutral. Like, our neutral is actually unbelievably strong. It's actually insane. So I combo with Gogeta. Afterwards, I throw in Shallot, and of course, the opponent gets Gogeta right back in. So now one of his cover changes is gone with that unit, but at this point, I need to find a way to continue a combo or at least get Vegito in. But luckily, after I got Gogeta to vanish, then he finally threw in Vegito, but then he did Rising Rush. Now, this would normally be a pretty dangerous situation, but again, the opponent never threw in Vegito up until Rush, and also I never threw in Goku. So I was able to take a majority of the Rush, and I guessed it. So because of that, we're kind of chilling. At this point, the only way they're going to be able to do much damage is if Gogeta carries. So, they tried to combo with, you know, Vegito. It lasted for a little bit. Then they threw in Shallot. I'm continuing my combo against him with Goku. And then afterwards, I throw in Shallot and throw out my special move. So because of that, I knock down his hand again. And I have another special move chilling. So all I really need to do is just land it. So, again, they tried to attack. I throw out my special skill, which also now nullifies cover change. And then from there, I throw out my special move. The opponent throws in Shallot. And again, I knock down their hand. So, I throw a Ki Blast because I have nothing to lose. I drop the combo. And then afterwards, I continue attacking on Vegito. Now, I could have thrown in Goku, but I decided to just like keep the combo going at the very least and then throw out the special move to deal as much damage as I can, just in case if the opponent tries to play like super safe. Anyway, they tackle, or afterwards, you know, I vanish, and then from there, you know, they continue their combo. I throw out Gogeta Blue to at least stop the combo, but because of that, now Gogeta's cover changes are gone. So I have to be very careful with that unit, but I still have the means of nullifying endurance if I really need to, which of course in this case I need to. So I combo against Vegito, and I don't activate his, you know, endurance, but that's fine because at the end of the day, as long as I'm able to do some sort of damage, I'm okay. So eventually they throw in Gogeta, I combo him with Shallot, and then afterwards I throw out Rising Rush, and they throw in Shallot, which is fine by me because Vegito's health is really low. So I'm not worried about his endurance. It's either he's going to do something to try to heal, like, you know, pop his main or something, or, you know, he's probably just gonna have his endurance activated. So I'm not too worried about any of that. And plus, I still have Goku and I haven't used his main yet. So anyway, I have Shallot in. I'm just kind of waiting at this point because the opponent's gonna play relatively passive. This time when they tackled, you know, I, you know, vanished, and then I countered accordingly. And then this time, after I do a Ki Blast, I wipe out Vegito. So now I know I have no worries. And then afterwards, they just throw out Ki Blast. I had a special move. It wipes out Gogeta, and there's that. So yeah, that is Super Saiyan God Shallot. Again, it's crazy knowing that Shallot, like, of all units, Shallot is viable again. Like, I never saw this day coming unless they gave him Super Saiyan Blue. But no, they gave him, you know, the Sparking Rarity, and now he has a completely revamped kit, and it helps out a ton because he's good again. It's absolutely incredible at, like, how much they've overhauled this unit. But, that being said, on to the next battle.
Versus Shallot, Super Saiyan 4, Goku and Vegeta, and Super Saiyan 3, Goku, and Super Saiyan 2, Vegeta.
And here we are in the second battle. So, of course, I lead off with Shallot, and the opponent also leads off with Shallot. But the difference between this team and the team I fought in the last battle is I have to deal with the tag unit, so I have to be very careful with that. Anyway, I forced the opponent to vanish, and then from there, I fought with my special move. And, of course, I have Ultra Super Gogeta special move, so it knocks down their entire hand. Anyway, they tried to be patient, but I somehow still managed to be able to vanish and continue my combo with Shallot. And then from there, I transform. And after transforming, I throw out my special skill because of the fact of it, you know, one being a Russian move, so it's going to counter somebody who's going to try to cover change. And two, normally it will nullify cover change. Anyway, I continue my combo against Super Saiyan 3 Goku. And at this point, I wanted to keep Shallot in, but I also understood that if I did, he would kind of be in a perilous situation, so I threw in Rose instead. But now Vegeta is in, so the opponent is going to have, you know, permanent element factor advantage against Rose, so I have to be careful about that. Anyway, I force an advantage. They throw in the Super Saiyan 4s, and then afterwards, they manage to counter my tackle with Strike, and then they throw in Shallot, and they also have Ultra Super Gogeta's special move. So, yeah, that knocked down my hand, which was not good. But it's fine. We'll make do with what we've got. Anyway, I throw in Shallot and I transform. Afterwards, the opponent tried to rush in. I catch them with Blast Arts, and then afterwards, I throw in my special skill, so I nullify cover change. So from there, I continue my combo, and then afterwards, they throw in, you know, Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta. I pop my main ability, and at this point, I'm like, I'm at least going to knock down their hand. I obliterate the unit. Like, they are gone. So, yeah, that's quite literally that. Anyway, Shallot goes back in. They end up popping their main ability, so they have a special move. And then from there, I throw in Gogeta, but then they throw in the Super Saiyan 4s. At this point, they're guaranteed dead. There's no way in the world they're going to survive. So, you know, I combo, pop my main ability, throw in my ultimate attack, they're dead. There's no question about it. But now I have to be careful about Shallot. Just because it's a 1v3 situation does not mean that Shallot can't do anything. So the opponent tackles. I tried to, you know, fault with Strike, but they end up vanishing, which means I followed up too late. It is what it is. But they get, you know, 999 on the clash. So now the opponent is able to try to combo as hard as possible, and if they try to rush, they can wipe out one of my units if it connects. But they didn't rush, and instead they combo when I throw in Shallot and then throw out the special move, so I lost my hand again. But in my opinion, I think I got a better hand. So now, you know, I vanished, and then the opponent followed up with rush, but they followed up too late because I threw out my special skill before they activated rush. So I countered the rush, and then as I was going to continue my combo, you know, I throw in Rose, and they end up forfeiting, which in that type of scenario, I understand the forfeit. I mean, it's a frustrating scenario if you know, activate Rising Rush, but the opponent ends up using like a rush in special move or a, you know, ultimate attack, or like a rush in special skill right before you use rush, so it counters it. So I understand that scenario, but regardless, though, again, you guys see how well Shallot flows onto these teams now. Again, him getting that Sparking Rarity and getting a revamped moveset helps out a ton. It's actually unbelievable at how viable this unit is now. But with that being said, on to the final battle.
Versus Shallot, Android 17 and Android 18, and Second Form Cell.
And here we are in the final battle. So I lead off with Shallot, and the opponent also leads off with Shallot. Anyway, I tackle, and then they vanish, and then we end up in a clash. And I end up winning the clash, which is good. The downside is I have 2 strikes and a special skill. So since I'm not transformed, I literally don't have an appropriate way to follow up. So they just throw in Cell and counter strike. Anyway, I end up vanishing from the Ki Blast from Cell. Then afterwards, I continue my combo with Shallot with Strike Arts. And then I'm like, you know what? I might as well try to deal as much damage as I can against Cell while also knocking down his hand. So because of that, I throw out the special move, it wipes out his, you know, his hand. Then I transform. I tried to back off to be able to land some Ki Blasts, but I was just too late. So it is what it is. Anyway, they eventually throw in the androids because they have a special skill. Now they nullify cover change, so I just have to sit here and take the hits. But even though I'm taking the hits, I'm not too worried about the androids. One, I don't have any ones with endurance anyway, so it's whatever. And two, I know that if I just pace myself, I should be able to have this go relatively smooth. So the opponent ends up, throwing in Shallot, and then afterwards they throw in Cell because I threw in Shallot. And then I'm hoping that I would be able to knock out the opponent with this special move. I believe normally it would have, but I saw him like regen a bit of health like beforehand, even though I don't think it's a lot, but still, he was able to take the hit, which was unfortunate. But we did knock down, his hand in the process. Anyway, they transformed, which I think that was a really bad time for them to transform. They should have waited until they vanished before they did so, but it is what it is. Anyway, I throw in Rose, and then afterwards I decide to use Rising Rush, because if I can at least knock down the androids, or even Shallot, that gets rid of two very powerful opponents, especially like the androids with them being annoying with nullifying cover change, all that good stuff. So we end up landing Rising Rush, which is fantastic. So now I don't have to worry about like my cover change getting nullified like crazy when it comes down to special skills if 17 is in, or getting my Vanish taken away if 18 is in. Anyway, Shallot goes back in, and then I end up popping my main ability because I thought the opponent was probably going to do something crazy. They didn't, but I end up perfect vanishing. So instead of me following up with like strike arts into something else, I decided to throw out my ultimate attack instead to do guaranteed damage against Shallot, instead of the opponent potentially throwing in Cell and having him taking all the damage. So when Shallot comes back in, he throws out a Ki Blast, but I had a special move, so I wiped him out. Anyway, now that Cell's in, I threw in Shallot. He got me to vanish, but I had a special skill, and from there it was game. Like I literally had nothing but strike, so I was gonna beat him from there. But yeah, again, Shallot is, it's so weird saying this, Shallot is back again after 3 years. It's been a very long time since this unit has been viable, and now with him becoming a sparking unit, he is viable again. And the crazy part is, all of the gameplay you guys saw in this video is only of Shallot's base form and Super Saiyan God. I didn't show Super Saiyan, I didn't show Super Saiyan 2, and I didn't show Super Saiyan 3. And those forms are also viable now, like to the point where you can realistically use those forms in this meta. It is actually incredible at what they did to revitalize this unit. I'm happy with the end result of Shallot, but I do want to know in the comment section below, what teams have you been using Shallot on ever since he got his update from a hero unit to a sparking unit? Again, let me know in the comment section below. But with that being said, I'm Ndukauba, like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.